You know the moment. You're standing at the edge of something, a decision, a change, a direction. And everything in you, everything that is supposed to want a better life, a clearer path, a version of yourself that finally makes sense, goes completely, utterly still. Not calm, not peaceful. Still the way a circuit goes still right before it blows. You tell yourself it's because you need more information, more time, more certainty. You tell yourself that the right answer will reveal itself if you just wait a little longer, think a little harder, research a little more. But secretly, in the part of you that doesn't lie to you, you know that's not it. You're not waiting for clarity. You're waiting for permission to move without the possibility of being wrong, and that permission is never coming. Today we're going to talk about why, and more importantly, what's actually happening inside you when you freeze. Because once you understand the mechanism, it loses most of its power. This is one of the most universal experiences of our generation, and one of the least talked about honestly. We talk about ambition constantly. We talk about dreams, goals, vision boards, 5-year plans. What we don't talk about is the gap, the space between knowing you want something different and actually moving toward it, the space where most people live for months, for years, sometimes for entire lifetimes. We call it procrastination. We call it overthinking. We call it being indecisive, as if it's a personality trait, something hardwired, something to be managed rather than understood. But it isn't a personality trait, it is a response, a learned, adaptive, deeply human response to a specific kind of fear. And responses, unlike traits, can be changed. In the 1960s, a psychologist named Martin Seligman ran a series of experiments that would change how we understand human motivation forever. He placed dogs in a controlled environment where they received mild electric shocks. In the first group, the dogs could press a lever to stop the shocks. They learned quickly. They acted. They had agency. The second group had no lever. The shocks came regardless of what they did. No action changed the outcome. Then, and this is the critical part, both groups were moved to a new environment, one where escape was easy, one where a simple jump over a low barrier would end the discomfort entirely. The first group jumped. They acted. They got out. The second group, they lay down. They didn't even try. They had learned at a biological, neurological level that their actions didn't matter. That effort led nowhere. That trying was not worth the energy of trying. Seligman called it learned helplessness. Now, I am not calling you a dog in a cage, but I want you to sit with this question. How many times in your life, in childhood, in school, in your family, did you reach for something, try something, choose something, and have the outcome be completely outside your control? How many times did your effort not match your result? How many times did you try to change something and find the walls immovable? Because for many of us, more than we want to admit, the answer is enough times. Enough times that some part of our nervous system quietly, efficiently, learned the same lesson as those dogs. Don't bother trying. And so now, when you stand at the edge of a real choice, a real change, a real chance, that same nervous system fires the same signal. Stay still. It's safer. But there's a second layer to this, and it lives in the world around you, not just inside you. Psychologist Barry Schwartz identified something he called the paradox of choice. The premise is deceptively simple. More options do not make us more free. They make us more paralyzed. When you have 3 choices, you can reason through them. When you have 300, which is the reality of living in a digital, globalized, algorithmically optimized world, your brain does something predictable. It shuts down. And then it starts to do something worse. It starts to anticipate regret. Because with infinite options, choosing one means giving up all the others. And the more options you didn't choose, the more material there is for the voice that says, you chose wrong. So here you are. A nervous system trained by experience to expect that effort leads nowhere. living inside a world that offers so many options that choosing any of them feels like losing all the rest. And we wonder why we freeze. We wonder why the blank page stares back, why the application sits unsubmitted, why the conversation keeps getting postponed, why the life we want keeps living at a safe, comfortable, agonizing distance. This is not weakness. This is not failure. This is the predictable output of a system under specific pressures, and systems can be changed. 3 shifts. Not hacks, not tricks. Structural changes to how you relate to choosing, starting today. Shift 1. Shrink the arena. The reason big decisions feel impossible is that we approach them at full scale. Career, relationship, purpose, identity. We hold the entire weight of the choice in our hands and then ask ourselves to move. Put it down. You cannot build the muscle of choosing by starting with the heaviest possible weight. You build it the way you build any muscle, with repetition, with manageable resistance, with consistency over time. This week, identify one low-stakes decision you've been deferring, not your life's direction. Something small, a project to start, a message to send, a habit to try. Make the choice. Execute it. Feel the completion. You are not solving your life. You are proving to your nervous system, slowly with evidence that your choices matter, that action produces outcomes, that you're not in the cage. Every small choice you make and follow through on is a vote against learned helplessness. Shift 2. Learn the difference between fear and intuition. Here is one of the most practically important skills you will ever develop, and almost no one teaches it explicitly. Fear and intuition feel nearly identical in the body. Both arrive as a tightening. Both speak in urgent language. Both tell you to stop. But they are saying opposite things. Fear says, don't move because something bad will happen. Intuition says, don't move because this isn't the right direction. Fear is backward-looking. It is the nervous system pattern matching to old pain. It is the echo of every previous time something went wrong. Intuition is forward-looking. It is the quiet, considered knowledge of your deepest self, the part of you that knows what you actually value, what you actually need, what actually fits. Here's how you begin to tell them apart. Ask yourself, is this feeling protecting me from real, present danger? Or is it protecting me from the possibility of being wrong? If it's the second, that's fear dressed as wisdom. And fear dressed as wisdom has stolen more lives than almost anything else. Shift 3. Make peace with the cost of choosing. Here is the truth. No productivity system will tell you. Every choice has a cost. Not because you chose wrong, but because choosing anything means not choosing everything else. That cost is real, it deserves to be acknowledged. But here is what we consistently fail to calculate. Not choosing also has a cost. The months spent in indecision, the energy consumed by the perpetual mental loop of what should I do, the slow accumulating weight of a life deferred. Most people treat indecision as a neutral state. A pause, a waiting room with no checkout time. It is not neutral. It is expensive. It is one of the most expensive states a human being can inhabit. So the next time you feel frozen, don't ask yourself, what if I choose wrong? Ask yourself, what is staying here already costing me? Add it up. Be honest. Let the number be real. And then decide which bill you'd rather pay. There is a version of you that moves, not perfectly, not without doubt, not with every variable calculated and every risk eliminated, but moves, chooses, acts on incomplete information with a trust in themselves that was built, not given, not inherited, not stumbled upon, but built through the deliberate, repeated practice of doing exactly what we talked about today. That version of you is not far away. It is one decision ahead of the version sitting here right now. Make the decision. Now, here's what I want you to know going forward. We've talked about the map you inherited. We've talked about why choosing a new direction feels so hard. But there is something underneath all of it that we haven't named yet. Something that makes both problems worse and that almost no one addresses directly. You are exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't fix. And the reason why, the real reason, is something most people spend their entire lives not understanding about themselves. That's next.